It also argues
Good morning.
about how many pillars hold up the earth. Or what's under the pillars. But I suspect all of that is a metaphor. I don't really.
That's why it's called a Gadata. Okay. Exactly. All right, I'm going to start the learning sponsors.
All right.
And we'll do what we can today.
That's not my fault. What you're calling. That's my parents' fault.
Okay, gentlemen. Year of learning Suanani Garlic in memory of Malka Pro Man and Philip Man. And Yisrael David ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Beryl ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Yosef Meir ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Henya Rivka Pro Rosna bat Harav Tzvi Hirsch, memory of family murdered in the Holocaust. Arav Tzvi Hirsch ben Shlomo Yaakov, Sarah bat Ephraim, Yisrael David ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Ephraim ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Adia bat Harav Tzvi Hirsch, Miriam bat Harav Tzvi Hirsch, Pesel bat Harav Tzvi Hirsch, Shalom ben Harav Tzvi Hirsch, Shlomo Yaakov ben Harav Tzvi Hirsch, Shmuel ben Harav Tzvi Hirsch. Leslie and Gail Kaplan in memory of their parents, Harry and Marjorie Sedell Irving and Pearl Kaplan. Friends of Avi Gidler, Avram Meir ben Shimon, and Martha Gidler, China bat Yeshaya. Children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren of Toby Paris. Saratova bat Yisrael Dov in her memory. Charlie Gelfenstein and Sam Levine in memory of Ramona Levine, Rachel Mata bat Asher. Friends of Nina Moinester, Nechama Azna bat Yitzchak Aharon. Many friends of Stephen Vigdor, Zecher Nishmat Simcha Melech ben Meir Leib Halevi. Friends of Marcy Kurtz in memory of her great niece, Leah Bracha. The month of learning by B. Pizer in memory of her mother, Razel bat Shammai. Children of Grace and Julius Rosenzweig, Barbara Rottenberg, Ann Beres, and Judy Friedman, and Ellen Rosenzweig, in honor of Roz Greenberg Haskell's special birthday. Mel and Haran Haller in memory of his father, his mother, Fega Bas Yaakov. B. Pizer in memory of her stepfather, Avram Michal ben Shmuel Halevi. Josh and Carol Sanborn in memory of his parents, Chiena Bas Aryeh Leib, Shmuel Aryeh ben Baruch. A week of learning by Mark Linder in memory of his nephew, a soldier in the IDF who died in Lebanon, Eretz Paul ben Sirlis. Jack Hoffman in memory of his wife, Devorah Necha bat Mordechai Tzvi. Rena and Alan Mozak in memory of her father, Meir ben Yosef. Okay, we have, today is the 21st. Okay, I don't have any days of learning. Ben Shema have an aliyah, crank Rafia Velti, Yeshir Shema Tlil, Choben Israel, Kuku Ben Shtia.
And to dedicate the learning.
And today's learning for a refuah shlema for Mel, who is in the hospital. Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know his mother's name.
Okay.
Anyone know why Mel's in the hospital?
He had an infection. Yeah.
That's what I figured. I said this morning.
Rabbi wanted to give it here on Sunday. Any language, anything that you know, I can know. And to make the effort.
All right. Okay, where are we?
We are in.
Top of Yud Bet Amud Aleph. Okay. All right, so just to roll over 1 second. All right. We have a lot of Gemara today. We'll do what we can. And, all right.
It's too early for you to start the last sentence.
So from the bottom, we stopped in the bottom of Yud Aleph Amud Beis. It says, Ata shoel ve'ein ata shoel ma l'malama l'mata ma l'faneha ma la'achor. You are permitted to ask for what's from one side or one edge of the world to another, but you are not permitted to ask what's above, what's below, okay, what's before or what is after. Okay, That's where we stopped yesterday on the bottom of Yud Aleph, Amud Aleph. Okay? So as we get to today's daf, I will go through it the best I can. Remember what's going to, just a quick intro, and then we'll go into it. It's going to tell us ultimately that there are multiple levels of heaven, okay? Stratosphere, atmosphere, whatever, toposphere, all of these, okay? All of these multiple levels, and then cite psukim to show this, okay? And then it's going to give us another example of something else with, again, citing psukim and so on. So what we're going to have here is a lot of examples of this is what it is based on this in the Torah, blah, 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 blah. This is what it is, blah, blah, so on and so forth. So that's going to be a lot of what the Gemara is going to deal with, okay? In a couple of places, I'm going to, in at least one place, maybe two, I will suggest that on your own time, you look at a particular note in Art Scroll, if you're using Art Scroll, in two places, okay? So since I had opportunity yesterday to use both Art Scroll and Koran and for the preparation, okay? All right, on top of Yud Bet, Amud Aleph is where we're trying to start. Hashta na denafkale. Here we can learn that from the phrase, from one edge of the heavens to another edge of the heavens. Lamin hayom asher bara Elohim Adam al haaretz. Okay, or another pasuk. Or we said from the day that the person, right, that Hashem created humanity on the earth. We already said in the previous Amud that you couldn't, that did not preclude studying about the days of creation, okay? Lamalid, why then do I need that pasuk that tells me if you say I can learn from one end of the sun of the earth to another? Why do I need the second pasuk that says I can learn from even before humanity's creation? Okay? Kid Rabbi Elazar, Queen Rabbi Elazar, Deramar Rabbi Elazar. Adam Harishon min haaretz ad l'rakia, that the height of the first man was from earth all the way up to
The first level.
first, let's call it the first level of the heavens, right? Okay, and therefore, Shneamar lemin hayom asher bara Elohim Adam al haaretz. Okay, from that case, from that man was first created, and his height was from, okay, that earth upward. Abat, says the Gemara, v'kevan shesarach, but since man, one translation was soured, another was sinned. But okay, but the point is clearly the same message, same concept. Hiniach HaKadosh Baruch Hu yadav alav v'umiyato. Hashem took his hand and he squashed him. Okay, compress, all right? Shneamar.
It says diminished. It doesn't say squat.
Okay, achor v'kedim tzartani v'teshet al kapcha. Okay, all right, so what happens?
If Adam was that tall, how come Hashem said, where are you?
Okay,
That was rhetorical.
all right, okay. No, he was calling him a German Jew because he called him Ayeka. All right. Okay, all right, so let's get back to, okay,
So
All right.
Why do we? Some
So
people
here,
say
the
6
point-
hours.
all right. So the point is the fact that the pasuk used v'tashet alai kapcha, that you pushed your hand down on him, that's where the Gemara derives the idea that Hashem diminished his height, okay? By the way, there is a concept in Kabbalah based on the Zohar that does suggest that the first human was very large, and there is a Kabbalistic term associated with that, that he was humaculus, or something of that nature, okay, of a giant, right? Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. He says, Adam Harishon misof ha'olam v'yad sofo haya, that the first man was from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. Shenema, okay, and that, of course, that wasn't height-wise, that was vertically. All right, Shenema lemin hayom asher bara Elohim Adam al haaretz. Okay, ulumiktsei hashamayim v'yad kitsei hashamayim. Okay, that he extended from one side of the firmament to the other side of the. So if when he lay down, it was as if his body extended from when sun would rise to sun would set, from one side of the firmament to the other. Kevan shesarach, again, since he soured or spoiled or sinned, right? Hiniach HaKadosh Baruch Hu yado alav, right? Umi ato shene'amar, okay, and he reduced him. Why? V'tashit alai kapcha, and again, you placed your hand on me, and he made him smaller. If you want, look at 12A1, note number 9, or if it's your own art scroll, circle that comment to go back and look at it later. Okay. All right, going on. Ihachi, says the Gemara, kashukra ayha hadade. If that's the case, the psukim seem to disagree with one another. Idi v'idi chadshi urahu. Actually, says the Gemara, when we're talking about his height, or we're talking about him horizontally, we're really dealing with the same number, same measure. Okay, he's still that. Okay, still taller than what's his name there. Okay, the basketball guy. Va'amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, says Rav Yehuda name of Rav. Now we get to a new piece in the Gemara. Okay, Asarad Varim Nivra'u B'Yom Rishon Ve'eluheim. And these are the 10 things, says Rav Yehuda in the name of Rav, Hashem created on the first day. As we go through this, we're going to see again its list. The Gemara is going to challenge it and say, how can you say this and this? What about such and such and so on? Okay. Ve'eloheim, shamayim ba'aretz, heaven and earth. Tohu vavohu, void and confusion. Or v'choshech, light and darkness. Ruach umayim, wind and water. Midat yom, the length of a day. Umidat laila, the length of evening. Okay. Notice the back and forth, parallel, right? Now we're going to clarify each case. Shamayim va'aretz, heaven and earth. Dichtiv, because it's written. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'et ha'aretz. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Tov vavohu, next, the void and the confusion. Okay, dichtiv, as it's written, va'aretz hayta tov vavohu. Okay, next, or v'choshech, light and darkness. Choshech dichtiv, that it's written darkness. V'choshech al pnei hatehom, that the darkness was on the face of the depths. Or light, dichtiv, vayomer Elohim yehi or. Hashem said, let there be light. Ruach umayim, the wind and water. Dichtiv, as it's written, v'ruach Elohim merachefet al pnei hamayim. Okay, again, right, the pasuk from Bereshit. Next, midat yom umidat laila, length of day, length of night. Dichtiv, right? Vayera vayivoker yom echad. It was evening, it was morning, first day. Again, notice a lot of the psukim come from Bereshit, right? That first, okay, right? So what happens? Going on, Tana, but we have a Braita, says the Gemara. Tahu, right? What's Tahu? Kav Yarok Shemakif et Kol Ha'olam Kulo. That Tohu is like a green line that covers over the entire earth. Entire planet, okay?
Perimeter of.
Okay, kulo, oshemimenu yatzah choshech. Okay, so think of it as the first level of, I don't know, atmosphere, whatever. Okay, covering the top of the planet. All right, and from this comes darkness.
It's a perimeter.
It's around it, surrounding. Okay, all right. So what happens? Shneamar, as it says, Yoshet Choshech Sitro Savivotav. So the emphasis on Savivotav, that it surrounds the perimeter of the plate. Okay? So we said Vavohu. Vohu, what's that? Elu avanim hamefulamot hashkuot betahom. What is vohu? These are the damp stones that are submerged, okay, into the depths. Shemehem yotzin mayim, from which water is emerging. Shneamar v'nata aleha kav tohu va'avne vohu. Again, citing a pasuk. Va'or, okay, and light. B'yom Rishon Avre, and what's light really created on the first day. V'haktiv, but isn't it written in a pasuk? Vayitein otam Elohim barakia hashamayim. Okay, it says, and he placed them into the rakia in the heavens. Uktiv, and then it says, Vayera vayivoker yom revi'i. It says it was evening and morning, right? Fourth day. So when was it created? First day or fourth day, right? Keda Rabbi Elazar, as in the view of Rabbi Elazar, the Amar Rabbi Elazar, or Shebara Kadosh Baruch Hu b'yom Rishon, that light which the Hashem created on the first day, Adam Sofeh Bo Misof Ha'olam Bi'ad Sofo, that a person was able to see it from one end of the earth to the other. Okay, it's as if he's talking about dawn, perhaps. Okay, right? Kevan shenistakel hakadosh baruch hu bedor hamabul ubedor haflaga. Once Hashem examined the generation of the flood and the generation of the Bavel, the Tower of Bavel, right? Vira'ah shema'asehem mekul kalim, and he saw that their deeds were, I'm going to translate it, disparaging, rotten, no good. Okay. Amad v'ganzo mehen. Okay. He stood or he enacted so that he removed that primordial light. He hid it. Okay. Right? Why? As it says, vayimna mirishayim oram. And he prevented from the wicked this light. Okay. Ulami ganzo, and for whom did he hid this light? This, in other words, who was going to be ultimately be able to benefit? Okay, right? L'tzadikim la'atid lavo, for the righteous, okay, who will come in the world to come, in the future. Shneamar vayera Elohim et haor ki tov, and he saw the light was good. All right, what does it mean? Ve'ein tov elet tzaddik, and we say there's no good other than righteousness. Shneamar imru tzaddik ki tov. Again, a pasuk. Kevan shira'a or shegnazo letzaddikim samach. Once they saw that this primordial light was seen, that primordial light had been hidden for the benefit of the righteous, and they would be able to enjoy it. And why? They're happy. Shneamor or tzadikim yismach. Again, a pasuk. Kitnai. But we say this is a machloket tanaim. Based on what? Or shebara kadosh baruch hu b'yom rishon, the light that Hashem created on the first day. Adam tzofeh mabit bo misof ha'olam bi'ad sofo. That we said that Adam Arishon was able to utilize this light and see from one end of the planet, so the universe, to another, until it's in. Divrei Rabbi Yaakov. That was the view of Rabbi Yaakov. V'chachamim omrim, but the sages say, hen me'orot shenivra'u b'yom rishon. Excuse me. These were the, I'm going to say, celestial items for a reason. Shenivra, luminaries, that's right. Shenivra ubiyom rishon, that were created on the first day. Velo natlu ad yom ravi, but they weren't put into place until the fourth day. And again, if you're using Art Scroll, look on 12A3, note number 34. Okay? I'm sure Corin has a note there as well.
Oh.
Right? Amar Rav Zutra says Rav Zutra Bar Tuvia Amar Rav in the name of Rav. Ba'asara divarim nivra ha'olam. Okay, I'm going to translate divarim 2 or 3 ways. One place wants to use it utterances. One translation wants to use attributes. Okay, so there are few possibilities for the word. Okay, dvarim. The word was
Variance is here.
okay,
Very non-committal term.
right. Bechachma with wisdom, bitfuna understanding, bidat with knowledge, bekoach with strength, ubigara with rebuke, ubigvura. We're going to call that with might. Okay, betzedek righteousness, ubimishpat justice, bechesed kindness, uberachamim with mercy. Okay, bechachma. So we're going to go through each one. Bechachma ubetfuna with wisdom and understanding. Dichtiv Hashem bechachma yisad aretz konein shamayim betfuna. Yeah, notice the use of the psukim. Bedat with knowledge, but dichtiv bedaato tehomot nivka'u. Again, notice the use of the pasuk's phrase inside the as the point. Excuse me. Bekoach ugvura. Again, dichtiv machin harim bekocho. Right? Ne'ezar bigvura. Begara with rebuke. Dichtiv amudei shamayim yirofefu v'yitmahu begarato. Betzedek ubemishpat with justice and righteousness. Okay, dichtiv as it's written, tzedek umishpat machon kisacha. Again, bechesed v'rachamim. Okay, again with kindness and with mercy. Dichtiv zecher rachamecha. Right, zechor rachamecha Hashem bechasadecha ki me'olam hein. Va'amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. He says as follows: B'sha'ah shabara Kadosh Baruch Hu et ha'olam haya marchiv v'holech k'shtei pekayot shel sheti. That when Hashem created the world, what did he do? He formed it in such a way that it was like, and I'm going to translate, 2 unraveling balls of warp thread. Okay, that's the language that both Art Scroll and Koren sort of phrase it in that way. Okay, just spelling it out a little bit more deep. Okay, so you have like a round ball of wool. It's the warp, which is the smaller one. Okay, and it unfolds, it unrolls. Okay, so think of a ball of wool rolling along. And why do we give that image? Because then the Gemara.
That's their concept of the expanding universe.
Well, it could be. Ad shega'ar bo hakadosh bo v'ha'amido, until Hashem rebuked it and made it stand still. Shneamar amudei shamayim yirofefu vayitmahu miga'arato. Okay, again that concept there. All right, so going on. V'hainu da'amar Reish Lakish. Okay, and now we're going to see what Reish Lakish tells us. My dichtiv. Okay, what does it mean when it says Ani El Shaddai? What does that mean? Ani hu she'amarti le'olam dai. I'm the one who said enough. Okay, in other words, limiting. Amar Reish Lakish again. B'shah shebara Kadosh Baruch Hu et hayam. When he made the sea, hayam marchiv v'holech ad shega'ar bo. Okay, again, he made it broad, the seas, until he rebuked it. What did he say? HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'yavesho. And he made it dry up. In other words, that's how he created the dry land. Shneamar go'er bayam v'yavashehu. Okay, the chol right? The chol hanaharot echriv. Right? So again, pointing using the pasuk. Tanu Rabbanan, another bright. Beit Shammai Omrim, says Beit Shammai, Shamayim Nivra'u Tchila, V'achar kach Nivra'et Haaretz. Heaven was created first, and afterwards the land, or dry land. Shneamar, as it says, Breshit bara Elohim et Shamayim v'et Haaretz. Ubeit Hillel Omrim, what do they say? Eretz Nivra'et Tchila, V'achar kach Shamayim. No, the dry land was created first and afterwards heaven. Shneamar, Bayom Asot Hashem Elohim Eretz V'Shamayim. So in that pasuk we see Eretz referred to first. So that was their argument. Amar lahem Beit Hillel Beit Shammai, and he says, L'divreichem, according to your view, Adam boneh aliyah v'achar kach boneh bayit. Is it possible that if somebody builds an upper or a second floor and then builds the house, then the ground floor? Okay, Shnei Amar, Haboneh b'shamayim ma'aleotav va'agudeto al eretz yisada. Amar lahem, Beit Shammai answers back to Beit Hillel. L'divreichem, according to your view, Adam oseh Sarparach, all right? A person makes, that's a footstool. And afterwards he's going to make the chair. Okay? Shnei Amar, as it says, Ko Amar Hashamayim Kisi Va'aretz Adom Raglai. That's from the Haftorah for Shabbos Rosh Chodesh. Okay? B'chachamim omrim, and the sages say, Zeh v'zeh ke'achat nifra'u. This and this, in other words, Shamayim va'aretz, were made at the same time. Okay? Shnei Amar, af yadi yisada aretz, v'yimini tafcha shamayim, korei ani aleihem, ya'amdu yachdav. Good use of a pasuk there. Okay, that they were done yachdav, together. Ve'idach, and others say, yachdav. What do we say from that? Delo mishtalfe mahadade, that they're not separate or slipping away from one another. So the Gemara says, kashu kara'ai hadade. It seems these psukim are problematic. Okay, they're different from one for another. Amar Reish Lakish, Keshev Nivra'u, Bara Shamayim V'achar kach bara ha'aretz, says Reish Lakish. When they were created heaven and afterwards created earth. Ukashen Nata, and when he spread them, in other words, set them in place, okay, as if the word planted, all right? Nata aretz v'achar kach nata shamayim, and planted the earth and then planted the heaven. My shamayim. Here we're going to get into a long piece now that's going to discuss the various levels of the firmament. Okay? All right. My shamayim, Amar Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina, Shesham Mayim. Shamayim, that's water there. Okay? All right, we can get into, which we're not going to do today, a whole scientific comparison. Okay, so if you get Talmudology, okay, I'm sure he's going to comment, at least on part, on today's stuff. Talmudology is a blog that deals with the aspects of both science and the Gemara on a regular basis. Okay? B'matnita, okay, Tana, it was taught as follows: Eish umayim, that there's fire and water up there. Okay, how else do we get the lightning, for example? All right, so let's go on. Milamed shehevi'in hakadosh baruch hu v'tarfan ze'im zeh, that Hashem brought them and he combined them one with the another. V'asamehen rakia, and he made from them the firmament. Sha'al Rabbi Yishmael at Rabbi Akiva, Keshahayu mahalchin baderech. This is a little conversation between two of the most important sages, right? Who normally were Bale Plugta. Okay, so notice what happens here. They're walking, right? Right? Amarle, he said to him, Atasha Shimashta et Nachum Ish Gamzu. You who served Nachum Ish Gamzu Kaf Bet Shana for 22 years. You must have heard quite a lot of his drushes. Namely, Shahaya Doresh Kol Etin Shebetorah. And he used to darshan every single et in the places in the Torah, et shamayim v'et haaretz, regarding that particular pasuk, mahaya doresh bohen, what was his drasha in regards to them? Amar le, he said to him, ilu ne'amar shamayim ba'aretz, were it simply said, land and earth, shamayim ba'aretz, hayiti omer, I would have said, shamayim, Shemo Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay. Achshav shene'amar et hashamayim v'et haaretz. Shamayim, shamayim mamash, eretz, eretz mamash. Okay. It's actually the heavens and actually the earth. Excuse me. Et haaretz lamali. As we go to Amud Beis, why does it say
Another S.
et, right? It could have been et hashamayim ba'aretz. Could have had just one. Why the second et? Okay? Lahakdim shamayim la'aretz. To say the heavens before the earth.
That came first.
Okay, wait a second. Ba'aretz hayta tov vavo. We got another pasuk that says the land was, right? Confusion. Michdei b'shamayim itchil b'reisha. Since with the heavens he began initially. Ma'ishna dekachashiv ma'aseh eretz. Okay, what is so unique or different about the that he had this intention or this thought or this structure of the land? Tana Debe Rabbi Ishmael.
It's
Right.
if he started with heaven, why does the Torah shift and talk about all
Okay.
the things that happen?
Ramez, what's so different or unique in that regard? Right. Okay, Tana Debe Rabbi Ishmael. What did they do? Rabbi Ishmael's Academy explained it as follows: Mashal Melech Basar V'Dam, in a parable comparing it to the flesh and blood king. She'amar la'avadav ishkimu lepitchei. Okay, he told his servants, get up early and meet me at the doorway to the royal palace. Ishkim umatzah nashim va'anashim. Okay, he got up early and he found there both women and men. Okay, what's so unique about that? Says the Gemara, Lami mishbayach lami she'ein darko lahashkim v'ishkim. Who is he going to really praise? The ones who normally, okay, right, get up and, right, the ones who normally don't get up early, but nevertheless got up early. Okay, so the explanations, that's why the extra praise for Aretz. Tanya, and we get a new piece now. Rebbe Yossi Omer, he says, Oy lehem lebriot, sheraot ve'enan yodot, ma'raot. Woe to them, to the creatures, human beings in particular, that see and don't understand or aren't aware what they see. Okay? Omdot ve'en yodot. Amahen omdot. They stand and they don't know, aren't aware of what they're standing. Haaretz alma omenet. On the land, what is it standing on? Al ha'amudim, it stands on pillars. Shene amar, hamargiz aretz mimkoma, va'amudeha yitpaltzun. Again, a pasuk. Amudim, these pillars, al hamayim, are on water. Shene amar, as it says, Lerokea haaretz al hamayim. Again, citing of the pasuk. Right? Mayim, what does the water stand on? Al harim, on mountains. Okay? Shnei Amar, as it says, Al harim ya'amdu mayim. Okay? As I said, one could take this whole section and begin to figure out scientifically also, are there certain parallels? Okay? All right, harim, what does the harim mountain stand on? Biruach, on the wind, Shnei Amar, Kihine yotzer harim uborei ruach. Again, the pasuk. Ruach, what is the ruach on? Besa'ara, on the storm. Shnei Amar, ruach sa'ara osad dvaro. Sa'ara, the storm. Tluya bizra'o shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the storms rely on the, if you want to say kivyachol, the arm of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shnei Amar umitachat zro'ot olam. Okay, again. Now, v'chachamim, what do the sages say? Omrim al yud bet amudim omedet, that the world stands on 12 pillars. Shnei Amar yatsev gvulot amim lemispar b'nei Yisrael. So since we have the 12 tribes, maybe you have the 12 pillars. V'yesh omrim, and others say, sheva amudim Shnei Amar, that it's 7 pillars. Why? Chatzva amudah shiva, because we have a pasuk that says that the pillars are 7. Where would we get 7? Okay, from what? Okay, we could say if we deduct, okay, certain, okay, the sons from Yaakov. Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua Omer, Al Amud Echad, it's on one pillar. V'tzadik Shmo, and his name is the righteous one. Shnei Amar v'tzadik Yisod Olam. Okay, a new piece from in the Gemara. Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Now we get to the different levels of firmament. Shnei Riki'im Hein. There are 2, he starts off, levels of the heavens, or levels of the firmament. Shnei Amar, Hein Lashem Elohecha Hashamayim, Ushmei Hashamayim. There's a level where Hashem designated heaven, and then there's above heaven. So that would give his basis for 2. Reish Lakish Amar Shiva. Says Reish Lakish, there are 7 levels. Ve'elu Haim. And these are what Reish Lakish calls them. Vilon, we'll call that curtain. Okay? Rakia, we'll call that firmament. Shechakim, we'll call that
Rhinestone.
okay, whatever. All right. Zvul, that's another level. Okay. Art Scroll didn't always translate them. Ma'on,
They're all translated.
okay, another level. Machon, another level. Arevot, okay, that's third. Now we go into detail. Vilon, the curtain level. Eino mishamesh klum, ele nichnas shachrit, v'yotze arvit, u'mechadesh b'chol yom ma'aseh breshit. So Vilon, one level, is not of major significance, only in that it's where the morning star comes and it then leaves for evening, and each day, therefore, it reminds us of creation. Okay, I would call that the early dawn. Okay, Shnei Amar, as it says, Hanotek kedok shamayim v'yim tachem ke'ohel Hashem. Next, Rakia, firmament. Shebo chama ulevona. Okay, so here we have the sun, the moon, kochavim, the stars, umazalot, the zodiac signs, kivuim, they are fixed on that level. Shnei Amar, vayitein otam Elohim berakia hashamayim. So that tells us that Rakia, the pasuk, is different from Shamayim. They're different levels. Next, Shechakim, we're going to call that the heights.
Rhinestone.
Okay?
I see them.
Shebo rechaim omdot utchunot mim latzadikim. That on this level, okay, we have grinding stones that stand and they grind the manna for the righteous. Shnei Amar vayitzav shchakim mima'al udalte shamayim petach v'yamter alehem man le'achol v'gomer. Okay, Zvul is, I'm going to translate abode. Okay, Shabo Yerushalayim Ubeit HaMikdash Umizbeach. In other words, the heavenly Jerusalem, the heavenly Beis HaMikdash. Yeah, again a second. Umizbeach Banui. Okay, and the altar are all built on that level. And what's going on there? Umichael Hasar Hagadol. Umaid umakriv alav korban, and Michael, the chief most among the angels, okay, brings the offerings there on that mizbeach lamala. Shnei Amar bana baniti bait zvul lach machon l'shivtecha olami. Okay, so Gemara goes on. Uminailan the ikre shamayim. And on what basis then is that called shamayim?
Of one of the heavens.
Okay, namely dichtiv habet mishamayim urei mizvul kadshecha v'tifartecha. And I'm basing the pasuk's connection since it says kadshecha v'tifartecha, your holy items and your glory items that glorify you. That's why Zvul is therefore connected with that idea that the Beis HaMikdash, right, and spells out Zvul. Okay, Ma'on, a habitation. Shabo kitot shel malachei hasharet. There is where the various groups of angels, right? She'omrot shira b'layla, who sing praises to Hashem at night. V'chashot bayom, but they're silent during the day, mipnei kvodan shel Yisrael, because of their respect for the Jewish people who praise Hashem during the daytime. Okay? Shnei Amar, as it says, Yomam yitzaveh Adonai chasdo, uvelayla shira ami.
This is a source for a minute not to say Tehillim at night.
Could be. Amar Reish Lakish, Kol ha'osek b'Torah b'layla, whoever indulges in Torah study at night, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe Chalav Chut Shel Chesed B'Yom. Hashem extends him a thread of kindness, of mercy during the day. B'Yom Shnei Amar Yomam Yitzaveh Adonai Chasdo. Umatam Yomam Yitzaveh Adonai Chasdo. And what's the reason? Mishum, right? Balayla Shira Ami. Okay, and at night is the song of his nation. The Ikeda Amre, and others say Amar Reish Lakish. Kol ha'osek b'Torah ba'olam hazeh. Whoever indulges in Torah in this world, Shahu domeh lelayla, that it is like night. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe Chalav Chut Shel Chesed La'olam Haba, that Hashem will grant him a thread of kindness to the next world. Shahu domeh liyom, that next world is like day. Shnei Amar Yom Yitzaveh Adonai Chasdo Uvelayla Shira Amo. New piece. Amar Rabbi Levi. Sorry, says Rabbi Levi. Kol haposek midivrei Torah v'osek b'divrei sicha. One who interrupts, I'm going to say, his study of Torah and involved in everyday conversation, right? Ma'achilino to gachalei v'tamim. They will feed him the charcoal bits of the broom tree. Okay, that Koren had an interesting note there that the broom tree provided excellent charcoal, long lasting. Okay, so in other words, it's really a serious industry.
Rashi said even if the outside gets dark, there's still a glow.
Well, right, it's a long producing, right? But namely, hakotfim maluach al lai siach v'shoresh v'tamim lachman. Uminalan dekre shamayim. And again, why is it called shamayim? Right? Shene'amar hashkifa mima'on kadshecha min hashamayim. The place of your holy dwelling in him. Machon, again, the dwelling place. All right. What is that? Shebo otzrot sheleg. That's where the treasure houses of snow. Va'otzrot barad, and the treasure houses of hail. Va'aliyat tlalim ra'im, and the upper floor where it's the difficult or harmful dew. Va'aliyat agalim, and it's the upper chamber for the water drops. Heavy rain. V'chadra shel sufa v'usara, and the room for the storm and tempest. Uma'ara shel kitor, and the cave of the mist, the fog. All right. V'dalto tehen esh, and their fires are made. Their doors are made of fire. Shneamar yiftach Hashem lacha et otzro hatov. Hani b'rekia itnehu. These seem to be in the rekia, right? Hani ba'ara idnu. But here we say that they're on earth. Dichtiv, why? Because it's written, Halalu ed Adonai min haaretz, Tninim v'chol tehamot, Eish ubarad, Sheleg v'kitur, Ruach se'ara osed varo. Okay, all those seem to be implied here as we praise Hashem on land. Amar Rav Yehudis, Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, in the name of Rav, David bikesh alehem rachamim. David sought mercy on them, v'horidan la'aretz, and brought them down to earth. Amar lefanav, he says before him, Ribono shel master of the word, lo el chafetz rasha ata, you are not a king, a god that desires wickedness. Lo igurcha, you don't want anything wicked dwelling near you, being with you. Tzadikata, you are righteous. Lo yagur b'mikurcha ra, they should not dwell in your proximity. Okay, in your location. Uminalan dekre shamayim. And again, why is it that we call shamayim? Dichtiv v'ata tishma hashamayim machon shiftecha. Okay, going on, the next one, Aravot. These are the skies, or the seventh plane of heaven, the highest level. Shabot, Tzedek, Mishpat, Utzdaka, that in there exist righteousness, justice, charity, Ginzei Chayim, the
storehouses.
Okay, I'll take storehouses of life and the storehouses of peace, the Ginzei Bracha, the storehouses of blessing, v'nishmatan shel tzadikim, and the souls of the righteous ones, v'ruchot and nishamot she'atid lehibarot, and the souls of those, the spirits and souls of those that will be brought into the future. V'tal she'atid HaKadosh Baruch Hu lachyot bo meitim, and the dew by which Hashem will utilize to resurrect the dead. Tzedek and Mishpat, again, righteous and justice. U'dichtiv tzedek and Mishpat machon kisecha. Those are associated with the divine throne. Tzedakah, charity. Dichtiv vayobash tzedakah ksherin. Again, ginzei chayim, the storehouses of the living. Dichtiv Ki amcha mekor chayim, v'ginzei shalom, storehouses for peace. Dichtiv vayikra lo Adonai shalom, v'ginzei bracha, storehouses of blessing. Dichtiv yisa bracha me'et Adonai. Nishmatan shel tzadikim, the souls of the righteous. Dichtiv vaytan nefesh Adonai tzrura b'tzrur hachayim et Adonai Elohecha. Ruchot and neshamot she'atid lehibarot. those souls and the spirits of those in the future to be created. Tichtiv ki ruach milafnei tov v'neshamot ani asiti v'tal she'atida kadosh baruch hu lachyot bo metim, and the special dew that by which Hashem will resurrect the dead. Tichtiv geshem nidavot, right? Tanif Elohim nachlatcha v'nil'a atar konant. Okay. Sham ofanim usrafim v'chayot hakodesh. There are the various kinds of angels, the ofanim, srafim, the divine beings, divine animals, umalachei hasharet, and the angels, the kisei kavod, the divine throne, melech el chai v'ram v'nisa shochein aleihem va'aravot, and Hashem is as if he rides on these divine beings in the heavens, okay, on the clouds. Shnamar solu l'rochei baravot be'shmo uminalan de'ikre shemayim. Okay, and how do we know that it's called heaven? Atya rechiva rechiva. We have gzera shava from a pasuk that has the word riding to another pasuk with riding. Ktiv hacha. In one place it's written, Solul rochev ba'aravot. Okay, that he rides on these heavens. Uktiv hatam rochev shamayim be'ezreka. And elsewhere it says he rides on the heaven. Okay. V'choshech va'anan va'arafel mekifinoto. And darkness and clouds and fog surround him. Shneamar yishet choshech sitro sevivotav Sukato cheshkat mayim avei shchakim. Umi ike chashucha kame shemayim. And is there really darkness before heaven? All right? Doesn't Hashem provide light? Va'kativ hu gale amikta umistarta yade ma bechashucha unaora ame share. Okay, and we're going to stop there. The quote from Daniel. Okay, he reveals light. Okay, and it makes knowledge and therefore pushes aside.
Two more words from the top.
Okay, velo kasha. Okay, and that's not a problem. Why? Ha bevate gavai, ha bevate barai. One is in those
Inner chamber. And the
inner chamber, one is in the outer chamber. And we'll come back to that tomorrow a little bit to clarify what's. And you go ahead, right.
See you tomorrow morning, Thursday. Tells you what you're allowed to learn and what the limits are.
I have to tell you a quick
In other
story.
words,
About
everything
17 or 18 years ago,
the maximum.
Charlie Gilpin said his late wife and myself, and my wife, went to Florida International University to a seminar given by Rabbi Tendler.
Yeah,
It was about the creation, okay?
yeah,
There was a man there, he said, didn't believe, a non-believer.
yeah.
So he said, how could it be water in the heavens? He said, did you read the paper? It just discovered water on Mars. You remember that? The guy didn't know what, he just was flabbergasted. It was a beautiful seminar.
I'm sure.
Let's see, here's the voice changer, the one that was lifted. Beautiful. Something I won't forget. Just reminded me of it.
I've got none of it.
Have a great day.
I can barely.
Have a great, tomorrow is Tuesday.
It is.
TWO day.
One of the
2,
secrets of
22,
knowing what you
23.
know.
I know we have a bris in our family. In Karen's niece, her second son has a bris tomorrow, 2/22/22,
Very nice.
and her husband happens to be a computer, one of those guys who does codes.
Yeah.
He's,
Program.
but he's more than a programmer. He does computer security.
Ah,
So the fact that and what time of the day do you think they plan the bris?
2/22.
Exactly.
Yeah.